Hello everybody, welcome back to Cinema Savvy. It is myself, George, bringing a brand new video. And today I'm going to be doing something very different. I'm doing a ranking video, I'm doing it solo. And it is for the first season of The Last of Us, which of course came out 2 years ago. So, quite a delay. You might be wondering, why is he doing this now? You probably know why I'm doing it now, but I'll be going over that very shortly for yourselves. As always, I do want to hear from people watching at home. So please do comment your ranking of Season 1 for The Last of Us, your thoughts on the first season, what you're looking forward to the Season 2. Are you excited? Have you played the game? Have you not played the game? Let's hold off from Season 2 spoilers or game spoilers just for people in the chat as well. And of course, if you want to find out about other videos, things we're working on, we are heading into one of the busiest months of the year, and I'm not saying it because it's April. I'm saying it, March has been quiet. I have been preparing a lot of things for April. There are so many shows, there are so many films coming out into May as well. It's going to get really, really busy, so I appreciate people's support whilst I've been a little bit quieter, making more prep. But as I said, I will be announcing a couple more things into this video, and you can get our social medias using the Linktree link in the description below. That will put you through to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky. But let's talk The Last of Us. And I guess it's a great way of saying Season 2 starts this Sunday in the States, Monday here in the UK. As we did with Season 1, we will be doing spoiler discussions that will go up on the Monday evenings. Now, there is a asterisk around that. A, life gets in the way. B, there is a chance we end up watching episodes early, not the whole season, but potentially week to week we get early access. There may be occasions me and Sam do a live stream. There may be occasions we do an upload, but either way, our spoiler discussions we're aiming for Monday in the UK, and of course we've got shorts as well, all those other things. So we're still going to be covering the season in full, as well as covering Andor, which is going to be absolutely massive for us. It's such a shame that they're doing it across 4 weeks, different conversation. We will be doing an Andor preview video. We won't be doing an Andor Season 1 ranking video, because after Andor Season 1's done, I'll be doing an entirety of a ranking for Andor, which is kind of what led me to doing this, because The Last of Us is my favourite game of all time. I've said that before. Season 1 I thought was perfect. It's one of my favourite seasons of a show ever. And as far as an adaptation went, it absolutely nailed it. The core of the story, the characters, the performances, the sets. To me, it was perfect. And I don't use that word a lot, but I absolutely love Season 1. I re-watched it last weekend, so that's given me a lot of excitement for Season 2, and this is a great little preview for Season 2, is revisiting Season 1 in a ranking as such. So I'm going to be going over my episodes. I'm going to be starting, and I say I'm starting at the bottom. I love this show. I love all 9 episodes, but I'm really curious. Different people have different favourites. There is so much variety in each of the series. I thought a ranking could be a really fun little video. So this is going to be doing my absolute best. I'm still going to be waxing lyrical about the show, but it's just something a little bit different we've not really done before. So let's get it started. I'm still doing this new setup with the laptop here, the camera there. It saves me standing around awkwardly looking at notes I've written hanging off a tripod. So in 9th place, I have put episode 4, Please Hold to My Hand. A very good episode, and it has the very unfortunate placement of being set between episodes 3 and 5. Now, it is a first of a 2-parter, so it has an excuse in that respect that it made it a little bit easier to put it near the bottom of my list. How do you recover from the sort of opening trio of episodes? You need to have a little breather, something a little bit different, yet this still is going at 100 miles an hour. So I really like episode 4, Please Hold to My Hand, but it is an episode that, whilst it is introducing new characters, a new city, new villains, and we get a great little, I guess you could say, cliffhanger if you're not aware of the game, ending of the episode. It's a great, solid episode 4, but obviously episode 5 is going to feature later on in my video. And in 8th place, I've got episode 7, Left Behind. A phenomenal episode, particularly for Ellie, whilst we're doing the recovery for Joel. We're then I almost called it the DLC. We're getting to flashback to those that are unfamiliar with her character, that may not have played the game, to exactly what happened, how did she end up being bitten, what led to her being in the circumstances she was in. It's a great episode, and she's got such great chemistry with Riley as well. And I think when we get Season 2 coming, because we're going to get more of the relationship with Dina, it was interesting in the first season to have done the Riley story. I know it was DLC back on that first game, but it's still a really important episode, and I enjoyed the placement of it. I thought it was great. But of course, again, you're looking at one of the best shows, so there is going to be ones that are lower down on my list as such. Then we have in 7th place, episode 6, Kin. and this is a really interesting one because I think the first time I saw it, and I was very lucky with the season one, I was very fortunate. HBO sent me them early. I got to binge all 9 episodes, and I did it in one sitting, by the way. It was in one day. You go back to the review, I look like an absolute state, not just the weight, but the bags, the pale face, because I shouldn't have done that, but I was glued. And Kin was one of those. You get past episode 5, you know you're heading nearer toward that finale, but then you need to start bringing back Tommy. And what the show did a great job of is really going into the relationship between Tommy and Joel. We get a little bit in episode 1. We get bits of it across the early episodes that his goal is to get the car. He thinks his brother's in danger. So to then get the additional story of actually he's fine, he's in a settlement, making some changes from the game with the dam bringing in the town, which I absolutely love. And I think when you're looking at continuity as far as a TV series goes compared to a game, they know what was going to happen in season 2 with regards to sets and locations. So why not start bringing that stuff earlier on in season 1? And the series does a great episode of episode 6 of Kin. And I also love the opening with the old couple in the farm. Very funny, very appealing. And I think what the show does so well is these cold opens. And whilst we only get a couple of them, it's something that stuck long in their memory. And I really enjoy episode 6 on a rewatch. It's a great relationship builder. In 6th place, I've got episode 8, When We Are in Need. And this is a really interesting one because we get the story of David. I'm going off the fact that I played the game multiple times before that first season came out. It's a very important part of, I guess you could say, like my teenagers, my adulthood playing that game. It did so much for me, respectively, from game environments going into film and TV sort of things as well. So there's a lot of core memory involved with this. And I was always curious that will they do the cannibals in this? How will they make it work? And what I loved what the show did, and this is some of the greater changes they do, rather than just having them be a group of cannibal survivors together, I love the idea that this was a group of survivors that were from a QZ. And the reason they have had to turn to cannibalism, and most of which don't know that they're doing it, they're having to eat the dead or the relatives of the people around them because they're desperate, because they're hungry, but because there's nothing. It's a really great idea to bring in that David side of thing, to make him sympathetic to an extent, and to then bring in the psychotic side of him later on in the episode. I thought it was absolutely great. I really enjoyed this episode, and it works so well, especially Bella Ramsey's performance by the time you get to the end, the moment with Pedro Pascal as well. It's a phenomenal episode, and it's one that lives very hard in the memory. A really great episode, and again, it's another varied one. The beauty of this first season is no episodes feel like we've been here, done that. Everything's got a different story, a different idea. You're meeting different characters, different events. The series is not credited enough for its structure. It took the really difficult route of doing that, making those changes, making it not feel repetitive like games can do, and that enhanced it for TV. And you've got to give it its credit, and episode 8 is a great example of that. Now, in 5th place, I've got episode 9, Look for the Light. And this is a weird one, because I think when the finale came out, I was somewhat slightly cold on it. And I enjoyed it, and I guess you go back to the game, as I said, you play the shootout, you do the whole hospital, so that gets put down to a montage. But then you think about the repercussions, you think where the story is going to go with season 2. There are things for this to set up. There are uneasy storylines left open with Ellie, example, asking Joel, was I needed, was I not? It's a great episode for a finale. Had this series have been a mini-series, this probably wouldn't work as well. And I like the fact it's left a little bit more open-ended with certain people, a certain camera panning on a dead surgeon, which is going to come into things in season 2. No teases of characters like Abby or stuff like that. It was a great finale to the season that ended the story arc of Marlene, and we get the great opening sequence where we get the birth of Ellie. We get to find out why she is immune, and you get the great, wonderful cameo, of course. So it's one of them where it does a lot for the character of Marlene, for the character of Ellie, and it really builds up the character of Joel that, yes, although there's an audience realigned with him, what he did do was a terrible thing, and there will be repercussions to come down the line. 4th place, I've got episode 2, Infected. And I love this episode. You've just had this wonderful series opener where you've had the backgrounds Joel, you know that they're going to go on a mission, you're introducing these characters. Now let's introduce the world, the environment, let's get out of a QZ and let's take these characters elsewhere. Infected does an amazing way of doing so. It's a great episode. It nails bringing in the clickers. It's really engaging from an action standpoint, from a character story. You get to learn little things about other people. You get a wonderful performance of Tess. Then you get the sad realization of She's infected, she's going to go. You get the really creepy, disgusting kiss, which is still gross looking at it today. Yet at the same time, it's still really interesting that, you know, the cordyceps, that it is alive. There is more to it than there is in the game. And I like that her character goes through that, and it really starts to begin the relationship of Joel and Ellie. And I think Infected's a very underrated episode. I think because, similar to how I spoke about episode 4, because it's sandwiched between 1 and 3, and it is very much, obviously, episode 1's an hour and a half, this is much shorter. It isn't one that's spoken about as well, but Infected's a wonderful episode, and it absolutely nails bringing in the clickers. As I said, it nails bringing in the other characters, the infected, because they play a big part. You need to have a threat, and by killing off a supporting character in your second episode, setting other characters up in a relationship, it builds up to that threat. So Infected almost made the top 3, but didn't. And in third place, I've got the opener, When You're Lost in the Darkness, one of the greatest cold opens in modern TV. Okay, it's a bit of a cheat. It's like 2 episodes. It's like an hour and a half, hour and 15, I think. And there was murmurs that this was going to be a 10-episode series, and they split it in 2 to give episode 1 sort of 2 episodes. I love the opening half with Sarah, building the relationship with Joel, with Sarah, with Tommy, spending time with her in the city, knowing that she's going to be a victim of all this, that spending more time with her makes it so much more crueler. You get great sequences with the infected coming through the hospital. I love that first half. And then the second half, you've got these horrible moments where you've got the infected kid who's going to get killed. You're bringing in Joel. You're bringing in Tess. You're bringing all these other characters to kickstart the journey. It's a wonderful first episode. And I do hope more shows do this. These extended openings I've not got no problem with. I'll be doing a video series in June, July time. And I'll be talking about cold opens a lot. And this is absolutely nailed it. Great first episode. And in second place, I've got a controversial one. I'm putting episode 3, Long Time, in second place. Now, this is an episode where I can't add to the conversation, as has been said before. It's regarded as one of the best episodes of TV. It is a phenomenal piece of TV. It's a beautiful episode of television, and rewatching it, I did cry. And I cried of what I put for episode 1 too. Nick Offerman's performance is something that's been spoken about for so long. When that first episode came out, when it aired, I was really excited for people to watch episode 3, but then getting to really witness the internet, the beauty of week-to-week storytelling, seeing people's reactions to it, what they thought of it, the fact that Bill 180'd from we got to spend time with this guy in the game to absolutely nothing, but the episode is going to be Bill's life. I think it's still an outstanding piece of TV. It's remarkable, and there are very few shows that have done episodes as strong as that, especially in the circumstances. Meanwhile, you're still bringing in... You've just killed off Tess, and then we get to see her. We get to see her in a flashback of sorts. We get to then see Bill speak about how important Tess is to Joel. So you're building up that relationship with Joel and Ellie's turn and bringing in Tess as this horrific weak point for them. And episode... My first choice, I should say, first of all, my favourite episode of season 1 is episode 5, Endure and Survive. The Sam and Henry episode, I loved them in the game. It's one of the few times in my life I've played a game. There's been a moment that's happened and I've just been sort of shell-shocked beyond belief. What have I just witnessed? I think I had it with the first Spider-Man game when the Sinister Six one, but the Henry and Sam sequence in that game kills me. The sniper level killed me many times too. And the aspect that I just couldn't beat it for so long. Yet on playing the game again, I suddenly was able to easily. So I never know why it took so long that first time round. But I love episode 5. Episode 5 is the definition of The Last of Us going from a game to a film. You get all the beautiful things that work in that game. Exploring the tunnels, seeing Ish and the families that survived down there, learning more about their stories and just replicating that. Some people don't like things being replicated from game into screen, but I think things like this work when it is more of an old school Easter egg that, hey, if you play the game, you understand this room where they're in, the meaning of it. If you haven't played the game, guess what? They're just in a tunnel and the family were here and they're here for a couple of hours. Absolutely loved it. The decision to alter Henry and Sam somewhat, bringing in the town that there was an informant, he was one of them, and he was responsible for the death of someone they believed to be a leader who could carry them, is a great way to set him up as an anti-hero. Joel's resilient to work with him, and then the only reason he did it is that he was cornered by Fedra into doing this to get medicine for his brother who had leukemia. And it creates such an emotional impact and bond between the two brothers that you do believe that his brother is his life. And when you get to those final moments where they make the choice decision to kill him off in a really quick motion, no dawdling with the gun, just a straight up blunt shoot, there's the blood. It's horrific. It's really sad still. It's still quite emotional. And then just to kill himself as well, the burial, the funeral, the I'm sorry message, Ellie thinking that she's the cure, that she could put it into him. I love this episode. It's so good to watch. It's so enjoyable. I think it's the strongest episode. I think episode 5 and 3 are my favourites by quite a distance, and they're quite interweavable. But for me personally, episode 5, I just absolutely love it. When I was doing the rewatch, getting to episode 5, I was like, okay, we're at the Henry and Son episode now, let's go. And that's how I feel, that's how excited I was. So that's my Last of Us Season 1 ranking. I'll go over it again, and I'll just do it in order of favourite to least favourite. This time I've got 5, 3, 1, 2, 9, 8, 6, 7, 4. Maybe that means something to all of you, not to some of you, but I hope you've enjoyed this ranking video. It's something a little bit different. It's gone on longer than I thought, which is great. I'm excited to talk about The Last of Us again. And I do want to hear from people at home. So I want to hear your favourite episodes from the first season, what you're looking forward to for season 2, where you would rank these first few episodes. Did I get anything wrong? Did I not? You can find us on social media. We'll be discussing and we'll be announcing our Last of Us streams and stuff like that on there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky. We tend to post on all of those, and obviously log stuff on Letterboxd. Linktree link in the description below. And what is coming next? There's a few new films out this week. I missed my Warfare press screening. That's out next week here in the UK. I'm very excited for that, the new Alex Garland film. I mentioned we've got Andor stuff going down. I don't know a date, but we've got an Andor predictions video coming out. WrestleMania soon, so we'll be doing some more wrestling on the channel because we cover those PLEs. There's going to be a lot of things. We're going to get busy. The Last of Us returns on Monday. So if we haven't got a new film review out before then, we'll be around on Monday. So that is it from me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.